Warm and very windy on Friday with scattered severe storms expected. Good Thursday night, East Tennessee. David Aldrich, Captain Accurate here from the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Well, you can see from the Ultimate Doppler Radar, most of us are dry. The Ultimate Doppler Radar presented by Matlock Tire Service and Auto Repair, East Tennessee's #1 tire shop and auto repair since 1953. We're all under high wind warnings. It begins tomorrow, but it'll last until 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday for many of us here in East Tennessee. A couple of rain showers in the Southern Valley, well south of Sweetwater. Most of the rain has been down there most of the day, down toward Chattanooga, back toward parts of Huntsville and northern Alabama as well. But it will be coming back while many of us are sleeping. Meanwhile, it's snowing across parts of New England. They'll be bracing for heavier snows across upstate New York and northern Pennsylvania and New England heading into this weekend. I want to show you, we had a couple of tornadoes, in fact now 4 of them, all in the Texas and Louisiana area, as the tornado watches in dark burgundy here continue to be monitored until about midnight Central Time. But if we come back home, our drama was this morning. We had a rock slide, we had debris flow, we had all sorts of crazy stuff going on in Sevier County. Here we actually had, looked like this a flooded school, or at least roads near a White School Road and Goose Gap. But if I look back here, this little exclamation point, this was the flash flood report that caused a rock slide along the lanes of Highway 441, just north of Norton Creek Road intersection. And they also had the debris slide around Highway 441. So very interesting weather, but now I'm more concerned about power outages because I think our winds are going to be off the chart, much like they were on Monday. Monday we had a crazy wind gust of 87 miles per hour. Many of us will see 60, if not higher, on Friday. Reports of almost a foot of water just 3 miles west of Knoxville about 3:30 this morning. So it was a crazy day during the early hours of this morning with a lot of dry time in between. But let me show you the bigger picture. Our high temperature today coming in at 64. It was a little slower to warm up today. I was expecting 68, 69 today. I was well off the mark, but 57, the normal high, 79 from 1976, the record high. 2 inches, 2.10 was the official rainfall amount from last night. 64 was the high in Knoxville, as I mentioned, but a pair of 6s for Tellico Plains, as well as Athens. It was 60 in Crossville today, 68 Chattanooga, and 65 in Nashville. Those are the numbers as far as high temperatures. Let me tell you what we can expect is a lot more drama tomorrow. I put the 60 to 70 plus because I think it's very probable many of us will feel the 55 to 60 tomorrow, and that's in the absence of storms. That's where storms are like apart, where you're apart or ahead of the front. We'll find those winds 55, 60 plus, and I can illustrate that. But if we get into the 60, 70 plus, there's still a high chance that that could occur. There is a low chance for a tornado. We're looking around a 5% chance, but it's not 0. And it's not a 2%, it's 5%. And no large hail expected. Heavy rain I don't think will be the biggest issue, although some of us may experience some of that as well. Here's the latest on the wind alerts. The wind alerts from the National Weather Service. I'll start from the left. The plateau, Nashville, starts at 6 o'clock in the morning, runs 12 hours to 6 p.m. Friday Central Time for gusts up to 60. And if you look around most of the area, we're all at that 25 to 40 sustained, gusts to 60 in the valley, but only in the Smokies. They're expecting gusts around 80, possibly even higher for some of the like Cove Mountain Tower. Some of the towers may actually have about 80-mile-an-hour gusts, certainly a possibility. But that's why it's so important to have the Captain Accurate Weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic. We're talking about loss of power. Make sure your devices are charged tonight and early tomorrow morning because things are going to go downhill in a hurry. Let me show you what that looks like. Now, you won't see the winds being a factor tonight. They're pretty light, may even get a little bit of fog. But notice by the time we hit 7 a.m., this is like the inflection point. Between 7 and 10, because it starts at 10 in the morning, the winds are just going to get really, really strong. And again, it might not even be raining at that point. This is 9 a.m., 25. Get to 10 a.m., we're already up to 38. 38-mile-an-hour wind gusts at 10 o'clock in the morning is just the start. Because I see 56 in Nashville. I see nearly 60 in Huntsville at 59. And by lunchtime, we could have gusts around 43. We could potentially have some trees come down because of all that water that we had this morning. I mean, think about it. Soggy ground, timber, trees come down, loss of power. It's going to be a real trying of one's patience tomorrow. But watch as we go toward midday into 1. Now it's up to 52. Oh, it's only 2. Oh, there's 61. There's 2 o'clock. Hey, you said it'd be 60. Could be higher. How higher? 64? Is that good? 230? Can you go higher? I see 66 in Lexington. I think we should share in the winds that Lexington has up there in central Kentucky. Why not bring a 6? Oh, there it is. There it is. What time is it? 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, 66 miles an hour. If this were to verify, many of us could lose some power. Many of us could have some damaging trees come down because, again, it's so soggy, the ground is so wet, and we're going to see those winds actually make things worse as we head into the afternoon tomorrow. By 4 o'clock, trying to drive home in this, 2 hands on the steering wheel, especially if you're driving east to west, west to east, all the rest. It's coming up from the south-southwest. And then you'll notice by 5 o'clock, down to 55, and getting a little bit lesser. As we head toward 10 o'clock tomorrow night, it's still around 39 miles per hour. Here's your Weather Prediction Center. Again, we talked about the slight risk overnight. Now we're kind of in that isolated category. I'd say it's medium to low for the flooding potential tomorrow because, again, these storms may not be as widespread. But the winds, they'll be coming out ahead and in front of the storms. Excessive rainfall outlook. Most of us are shaded green from the Weather Prediction Center. That's one thing to look at. We got a lot of clouds tonight, where there might be some thin spots, some fog may form because winds are light and variable perhaps right now. More rain later tonight. Very windy Friday. Strong severe storms on Friday. Friday should actually be scattered severe storms because I think we're going to find quite a bit of activity develop. Now, as far as the future rainfall, interesting to note, as you'll see, these amounts aren't off the chart. Like we picked up over 2 inches today. Maybe we get a 3/4 of an inch around Knoxville. Maybe only a 1/2 inch in Morristown. That's why I think the flooding concern is probably a little bit lower on the spectrum, and a lot higher would be the concern for the wind. And the wind has its impact with the power outages. Storm Prediction Center, we're going to look at some colors. Boy, are we looking at colors. Wait a minute, what's the red mean? Red means widespread. Oh, that's like really bad. Yeah, they don't use red and purple very often at the Storm Prediction Center. There has to be extreme cases to use the purple. But even the red is pretty rare to talk about widespread severe storms. That's today and tonight. That's centered around Dallas, Tyler, Texas, and Texarkana, and El Dorado. Then we move back home. There's not much going on tonight. Just more like the non-severe thunderstorm concern as we head into the overnight period. That's why I put the non-severe thunderstorm flash in there, and it doesn't even apply to Cott County or Greene County for the most part. It's mainly west. Now, tomorrow, they did add some orange color. They got the paint palette out and said, let's use the orange in central Kentucky and middle Tennessee. Well, that's what they're doing. Nashville to Lexington, even Monticello. Numerous severe storms are possible. And it includes Bowling Green and Louisville. But Knoxville, maybe just a sliver of Fentress County. That would be far northwestern Fentress County. I don't even think it includes Jamestown. But Monticello, Wayne County may have stronger winds come out of this. In fact, you can see this is the severe weather risk for Friday. Everybody's covered in yellow. That's scattered severe storms. And there's a 30% chance that you get the 60, possibly 70 mile an hour winds up toward Fentress County, and a 15% chance, which is still pretty high across much of our area tomorrow. And the risk for tornadoes, basically almost statewide, with the exception of Memphis and maybe Jackson. Everybody else in the state of Tennessee has a 5% chance of a tornado tomorrow. And that's like, again, you could say a 95% chance you don't get a tornado, but any point in the Brown area could be a chance for a tornado. So we got that on the table as well. As if you don't need a tornado to cause damage, you can get these nasty straight line winds and they could take the trampoline down the street. Let's make sure you secure that. And they could take your trash cans down the street. Make sure you take care of that too, all ahead of time, because all this is going to be good advice. But let me show you the future cast. Rain does return. It lifts up from the south and west, moves to the northeast. That's 11. That's 12:30. Is it raining where you are? It's certainly raining around Campbell County at 1:30 in the morning if this verifies. Maybe even around Knoxville. But not everybody's getting a shower, so I left a 60% chance of rain tonight as it rolls back in. Maybe even a few showers around Tellico Plains, 2:30, but that finally lifts northward. So Middlesboro, Morristown, Greenville, about 4 a.m., still getting some water, still getting rain. But you may be out the door tomorrow and say, the winds aren't a problem, and there's no rain. What's the fuss? There's no fuss at 7 a.m. Just give it to 10. Give it to 10 a.m. till noon. Oh, now it's not only warm, but it's nasty. The winds are really harsh. Yeah, make that stop. I can't make it stop. The winds will be howling at 1 o'clock. They'll be howling at 2 o'clock. And some of those red areas could produce some damaging winds because they may be severe thunderstorms as they roll through town. Not everybody gets one. Not everybody gets one, but where they develop, there's Knoxville. That could be a Knox County, Granger County severe thunderstorm, potentially. That's why it's so important to have the app. So you get the notifications. You don't have to figure it out later. You get notified right to your phone. And if your phone's not charged because you've lost power, again, trying to head you off at the pass, trying to head the messy weather off at the pass, because it's going to be an issue. There's some purple areas here up towards, say, maybe Hawkins County. There's some strong potential storms tomorrow as it rolls out of town. Then eventually we get toward the evening. Clouds will slowly trying to clear out of here, but it will still have at least some residual clouds. Think of Saturday as mostly sunny. And again, we're still talking about highs in the upper 50s to near 60 on Saturday afternoon. Sunday, back in the mid 60s. Not bad there. So this front that comes through lifts to the north. That's what's driving it in that direction. The cold front to the west approaches Nashville at lunchtime. And boy, does it swing in here before 5 o'clock. So I would say between 1 and 4 is when things are going to get really dicey for more severe storms. And then once we get into 8 o'clock Saturday morning, it could be snowing in West Virginia. Okay, maybe a few flurries up toward the Tri-Cities, but I don't expect that even to last very long. High pressure takes over, lots of sunshine, wall-to-wall sunshine essentially, with maybe a few cirrus high clouds on Sunday. I think it's a nice day in the mid-60s. So for tonight, we're talking more clouds and rain late, 56 degrees, winds are kind of light and variable, 3 to 8 miles per hour. 56 for your low in Oak Ridge, 53 in Sevierville, 55 in Morristown. Tomorrow, I'm expecting to have 75, very windy, scattered severe storms. 25 to 40, that's consistent with our friends and partners with the National Weather Service. There's no disputing that. And we could easily see wind speeds exceed 60 miles an hour. I mean, think about it. On Monday, we had an 87. Where did that come from, right? It was a standalone. 87 on Monday, while Morristown was 52. And Oak Ridge was 46. So there could be some bursts of wind that could well exceed your expectation. Please keep that in mind tomorrow with two hands on the steering wheel. 76 in Newport, but only 68 for Crossville, Wartburg, and 69 for Jamestown. High temperature tomorrow, 76 for Tellico Plains and Madisonville. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast. For Knoxville, East Tennessee, 59 on Saturday, mostly sunny. Sunday starts chilly at 37, but bright sunshine. 43 to start Monday, becoming partly cloudy, and we got more rain opportunities Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But after that, it could be very interesting. After that, I'm thinking of a four-letter word that starts with an S and ends in a W. After that, well, we'll get to that when we get there. But in the meantime, if you want to keep track of it all, using the Captain Accurate Weather app, please do so. It's free. Go to the App Store, Google Play. Just search two words, Captain Accurate. You can also use it on your iPad as well. My name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.